Yeah. Your favorite show with your bro. It's back. And so is week 6 of NFL action kicking off live on NFL Prime very, very shortly from Seattle, Washington, between two NFC West rivals of old, of a rivalry that's very, very, passionate for both fan bases. Both fan bases don't like each other, both on the West Coast. East Coast cities, teams, football fans, they might not care about this rivalry, but this rivalry does go deep. Even before the Legion of Boom and the Kaepernick era, there's a lot of history. To break that down, let me just go into it very quickly. In this game between the Seahawks and the Niners, we are rolling with the underdog. We are rolling with the Seattle Seahawks, the home team. They are minus 3.5 dogs right now. I don't know if the line has moved already, but they are still dogs at home, coming off of back-to-back losses. However, one of those losses was to the Detroit Lions, who they pushed to the brink on primetime. And they could have won it, but they didn't, unfortunately. So they're on a 2-game losing skid. Talk about a 2-game losing skid. So are the 49ers. So there has to be something to be given. For the Seahawks, in their case, they played a Monday nighter, they played on a Sunday, and now they're playing on a Thursday. Within 11 to 13 day period, they will be playing 3 games. So attrition will set in. They have a lot of injuries in that front 7 of the D fans. After that, it's still a question mark here and there. They're still trying to find their identity with a brand new head coach. But one of the reasons why I am going with the Seattle Seahawks in this game is because if people do remember last season, at the very end, it was almost a showdown of MVPs between Brock Purdy and Lamar Jackson. And the reason why Lamar Jackson, even though his stats don't really jump out at you, won the MVP last season was due to the fact that the Ravens beat down on the San Francisco 49ers handedly. And who was the mastermind behind that defensive performance or a defensive masterclass? Mr. Mike McDonald himself. Now he's the head man up in Seattle. He'll definitely have a defensive game plan. And on an easy game, well, not an easy game, but on a Thursday game on a short schedule, the two things that you want to rely on due to the attrition that's already within your team is a running game that they barely utilized last week. So hopefully they go back into that, keep the ball away from the Niners offense, and get the Niners defense really tired. Also, if you do realize, Kyler Murray with his deuces at the 45-yard line, they struggled with the mobile quarterback. I'm not saying Gino's Kyler, but he is still mobile. He could get out, get some first downs. He did get sacked 7 effing times last week against the Giants, but 5 of those sacks, 3 came from Sexy Dexy, all his own. 2 came from DJ Davidson. So the pressure inside needs to be manhandled, not just handled, manhandled. But at the same time, Niners are weaker defensively. They let go of Armstead. Unfortunately, Javon Hargrave is out for the year with torn triceps, so they are a little lighter. Givens has stepped up, had a couple sacks here and there. The Niners always have good rotational pieces, but this one's gonna be, a bloodbath to a degree, because it's not gonna be as competitive as thought of at this current moment. But Niners are 0-3 in the division. I am picking them to go 0-3 because this is still the beginning. Niners always struggle early in the season and kind of find their way. They might still find their way. All the injuries that are kind of piling up, all the drama in the offseason with Ayuk, with Trent Williams not getting a contract. The main one's contract still coming up, like, fan base, y'all need to wait on it and see what happens with this regime and everything, how they handled Purdy's extension. It's still so far back in their mind However, it should not be that far behind John Lynch's mind, because he'll have a lot of sleepless nights if he doesn't, lay the groundwork right now for it. There are going to be a lot of moving pieces, I do believe, this offseason for the Niners, for that cap to work out. Just a lot of different pieces. On the other hand, I think Seattle, I think they are setting in their culture. They're still pieces away. Offensively, they have all their pieces. They need to get that O-line straightened up. They can never get those guys healthy. Defensively, they're going to need some pieces to add on to it. One more draft, 2 more drafts, and they should have a solid nucleus to kind of go back to competing like in the 2010s. And the offensive trio, I think JSN, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett. I've been saying this to people week in and week out. People are still sleeping on them. They're, I want to say, a top 10 offense for sure, even with the lack of running games that they have with a Kenneth Walker injury. But Zach Charbonnet got to kind of, get his spot, get at least some touches, and be productive. Now that Kenneth Walker's back, you need to ride your bell cow and just keep running the ball, play phenomenal defense. That secondary, they need to step up. Juwan Jennings and Brandon Ayuk, they need to be, if not stopped, at least slowed down for sure. The safeties do give me a, questionable little discomfort, but I will still roll with the Seahawks in this one. Divisional matchup. If you go with the underdog, more than likely you are to win. At the same time, I do see the Niners winning handily as well. So we'll see what gives. I'm going to catch y'all very soon on the Sunday episode. Thank you for tuning in. Love.